Yeah, boy. I'm heavier than I've ever been, man. 189 pounds. Getting fucking lean. Yes, sir. We back, baby. Yeah. My goal is to be 200 and still running the sub 5 mile. But, long term goals. Anyways, so what I want to talk about today, this isn't going to be a long video, especially since my camera is lagging. I might need to turn my cooler up a bit, so y'all might hear a fan. Anyways, the video I want to talk about today is, and I may make it the thumbnail of my video, a dude recently, like about a couple hours ago, he said, well, there has to be a creator. There has to just be something that created everything, man. There must be a creator. And here's the thing, guys. When you look at human history, who was the person who showed up and claimed to be the singular, central creator of all things? Right? God. We know now from modern science that's not what happened. There is no... See, religion has taught you guys that here's the beginning and then here's the end. Although even in death, there is no end. Okay? Your energy leaves your physical body and you change into a different state of matter. So for example, water is liquid. When water evaporates, it goes into the sky, it turns into mist, it turns into clouds, it turns into gas, right? Liquid becomes gas. If water solidifies, it turns into ice. It goes from a liquid to a solid. When it starts raining, what happens? The water in the clouds go from being gas to liquid. And then you got the sun itself, which is a fourth state of matter called plasma, which is something entirely different. The main reason I say this, what do I always fucking say, guys? In order for something to be true, it has to have a basis in nature. If you can't go outside and observe the shit, it's probably not true. So, if water dries up and evaporates, it doesn't die, it's just entering a different state. This is the same thing with human energy. Should a human being die, their energy goes into a different state. You go from a solid to being a gas, okay? Your physical body, even your physical body after you die, right, even after it decays, it's changing into a different state of matter. If you're buried, right, with no coffin, your body, gets decomposed, it gets eaten up by all different kinds of bacteria, worms, vultures, etc. You essentially go back to the source, literally. Your body becomes one with nature again. And your energy goes into a different state of matter. So the whole reason I'm saying that, I made a video, a very short video. It's like 20 seconds long. As above, so below with Ed, and Eddie. So Ed is often portrayed as like the idiot of the show. But he asked a very genius question. Where do eggs come from? And then Rolf was going to literally show him where the eggs come from, but because it's a kid's show, Double D stopped him and was like, eggs come from chickens, Ed. And then Ed was like, well, shit, where do eggs come from? And then Rolf was like, from chicken, slowpoke, Ed, egg, tongue-tied. But it's just a cycle, man. You know what I'm saying? A chicken comes from an egg, and an egg comes from a chicken. What came first? There was no singular point of creation. It's all a cycle, okay? An endless, infinite cycle. Now, as a human being, you can control this cycle. You have free will to decide exactly what happens to you. In death, you lose the ability to control what happens to you. Okay? Shout out to my boy Israel, because earlier this year we had a private conversation, and I kind of wish Israel would make videos, but I see why he doesn't. You know, Israel's a fucking genius. But he said some shit that I didn't even think about, right? He was essentially explaining to me that, let's say you do die, let's say you do reincarnate like the Jesus fellow claimed he did, right? So what happens in every fucking show, video game, cartoon, whatever? What happens when motherfuckers reincarnate? They enter a new body. Sometimes they look similar. Most of the time they don't. But even though the energy, even though the core energy is the energy from a previous incarnation, the personalities are usually completely different, and they're not really the same person. This is because, boom, you die, your energy goes back to the source. By the time that energy re-enters a physical person, that energy is already changed. So this whole idea that you're gonna die and you're gonna, let's just play devil's advocate. Let's say there is reincarnation. Let's say you do enter a different life. Rather that's the afterlife. Oh, hey, Kirby just messaged me. Shout out, Kirby. Rather it's the afterlife or you enter in this life again, right? Let's say you reincarnate, whatever. You dying and then going into a different form of you going into a different physical incarnation, that process, your energy is not staying the same. Because how long would it take for you to incarnate again? A couple of seconds, a couple of minutes, a couple of years, a couple of decades, a couple of centuries, millennia, centennias, right? How long? And what you guys gotta understand is that 1 second in like, that's a lot of fucking time in the grand scheme of things. So even if you think you're gonna reincarnate, you die, your energy enters a different physical incarnation, it's not the same energy. So in most like stories where people reincarnate, most TV shows, cartoons, video games, etc., they don't keep their memories. How would you? Your memories are stored in your brain. So how would you keep your memories in death if you leave your brain here? And again, even if you do keep your memories, even the instances where these shows show you characters keep their memories, their personality isn't the same. So why am I even entertaining this idea? Because truth is consistent in reoccurring, okay? In death, you lose control of your life. Even if you enter a different life, you're not the same person that you were while you were still alive. You lose that. At that point, the forces of nature, the forces of the universe decide what happens to your energy. And if you do physically incarnate again, you're not going to be the same. You're not going to keep your memories. So this is what I'm trying to tell you guys, right? The purpose of religion, one of the purposes of religion, is to intentionally lead you in the opposite direction. It's to intentionally take the truth and lead you as far away as possible from it. Okay? It gave you this idea that there was a singular point of creation when there wasn't. It's always been a cycle. Even you people that believe in a God, okay? What made God? You people that talk this creation shit, what created God? There was no creation. It's a cycle. What came first, the human or the baby? Okay, if the baby came first, where did the baby come from? Oh, it came from a human? Where did the human come from? Oh, it came from a baby? There was no singular point of creation. It's all a cycle. If you get it, then what I just explained is going to just feel like walking down the street. It's going to feel natural to you. If you don't get it, what I just explained to you is going to sound like insane gibberish. At the end of the day, man, the reoccurring theme that I stress on my channel, especially in more recent videos, is that nobody in the universe is obligated to be truthful and honest with you. And if there's some incentive to deceive you, they're probably going to deceive you. If by deceiving you, they profit off of you, or they keep you under their control, why would they tell you the truth? God was all about control. That's why God showed up and lied to everybody and said that he created everything, and then God got what was handed to him. They say God is a jealous God. Why is that? If you created everything and you have all this power, how the fuck could you be jealous of anybody? Unless you know you're bullshitting people and you're envious that somebody may come and dethrone you with facts, truth, and logic. Remember, God is a human invented concept. Only humans invent gods, then worship their creations. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about. No other entity in nature, no other living organism fucking... This is some crap only humans could come up with, man. You just make something up out of thin air, then you worship it. When if you just go outside and observe nature, the tree that's in front of my fucking house, the tree that I'm looking at, like, what came first, the tree or the seed? It's a cycle, as above, so below. I may go into more details about this in the future, or I may not. I haven't decided yet. I kind of just wanted to make this, because I was supposed to make this video while I was driving home from the gym, but I got distracted with something else and it slipped my mind. Speaking of distractions, I got distracted with something else and it slipped my mind. Your boy's gonna get a DEXA scan soon, so we're gonna see the progress, man. I'm 189 right now, pretty fucking lean. So yeah, we're gonna see where the progress. We're gonna see the numbers. I like numbers, man. I love numbers. Numbers are a human invented thing, but you can also see numbers in nature. So, not the numbers that humans use, but it's something you can just go outside and verify with your own eyes, man. Who knows? Maybe science will get to the point to where we'll know the absolute number of how many living organisms are in our body. They probably won't release that though, because it may be incomprehensible to the public. But yeah, man, I'm probably gonna go live sometime next week when I have a free day to do so. But until then, I'll catch you guys later. And like always, if y'all got any disagreement, and I know I need some new fucking glasses. I've had these bitches for years. Yeah, a third right now. And yeah, as usual, if y'all got any disagreements, which y'all be having a lot of disagreements, put them in the comments. I'll get to them when I get to them. Catch y'all later.